Hello and welcome to Cricket Happenings, dear friends and subscribers. And on this particular cricket show, it's the Trans Tasman Trophy, which was lifted by the Aussie captain David Warner, as New Zealand actually lost the T20 Tri Series final to Australia at Eden Park in Auckland. There was no slugfest because the pitch had become a bit soggy because of the rain, and it turned out that batting was not very easy on this particular pitch. But Australia won the match. Some brilliant bowling. I thought Ashton Agar was the man of the match. He bowled splendidly, and that was it. So I'll be talking about that game where Australia won the Trans Tasman Trophy T20 series. Now, other than that, the India and South African game, today South Africa came into its own, and really have to credit them. Even they were not at full strength, they put up a very good exhibition of batting to usurp India and actually make the series lively with a victory over India. And Klassen was the one who really provided the impetus, and he's really turning out to be a very dangerous player, Henrich Klassen, and the way he hit the switch hit of Chahal for a boundary, that was something, a real stroke to be really seen by everyone. So definitely, so now this particular series has become lively, and we have the final T20 matches, and that will also culminate the tour, the Indian tour of South Africa and India. One has to wait and watch as to what really happens. But South Africa, definitely a lot of credit to them. Even though they are not at full strength, one has to credit their victory here. And we also have a look at some cricket news. But first, we are heading to the Trans Tasman Trophy final, and it was played between New Zealand and Australia at Eden Park in Auckland. As I said, there was no slugfest. This pitch was not easy. There was some rain as well, and the match was definitely decided by the Duckworth-Lewis method. And let's have a look at the card here. New Zealand were the ones who actually batted first. Again, the start was good, as it has been happening. It was a good start of 40 odd runs in 4 overs. So Guptill and Munro were really caning the bowling of Stanlake and Kane Richardson in the early stages of the power play. And after that, so that was the very good partnership. After that, the first wicket fell. Guptill was a victim of the bowling of Stanlake for 21 or 15 balls, 2 fours and 1 6. And Munro fell to Richardson for 29 or 14 deliveries, 3 fours and 2 sixes. But after that, Ashton Agar was pressed into service by David Warner, and for the first time we saw Ashton Agar really coming into its own. As you know, he has been picked up on the form of the BBL and the domestic tourneys there, and really Ashton Agar showed how he could really trouble the batsman, and in the process he picked up some vital wickets as well. He picked up the wicket of Kane Williamson, clean bowled for 9 of as many balls with 1 4. Chapman was LBW bowled Agar for 8 of 9 balls, and Agar also went on to pick up Colin de Granholm for 10 of 6 balls. So Ashton Agar was the one who really put a sort of a real break on the New Zealand innings after Guptill and Munro had got them off to a very good, decent start. After that, but Taylor was the one who held the innings together, but again there was no support for him at all after Granholm was out for 10. Taylor remained not out on 43 of 38 deliveries, 2 fours and 1 6. Santner was out for naught. Seaford for 3. He was a beautiful Yorker from Marcus Stoinis, which he snuck it under the bat of Tim Seifert. Saudi made 5. Sodhi 13 of 16, 1 6 in that knock as well. Trent Boult was not out on 1. And the Aussie bowlers doing a brilliant job. As I said, this pitch was not as the previous pitch like Eden Park in Auckland. It was something different because of rain, and the stroke making was not that easy. So 150 for 9 was never going to be a good score. Stanley 1 for 37, did a fine job. Richardson 2 for 30, bowled splendidly. Andy Ty 2 for 30, but the man who was the moment was none other than Ashton Agar, the man of the match. 4 overs, no maiden, 3 for 27 for Ashton Agar. Stowing is 4 overs, 1 for 23. Now the Aussies were given a target of 103 runs to win by the Duckworth-Lewis method in 14.4 overs, but they were well ahead of the run rate. Now they started off with David Warner and DRC shot. David Warner's contribution was 25, 23 bases, and in fact Short went and deposited Trent Boult into the grass banks, and also Saudi got a bit of treatment as well from Short, as Short played a really cavalier knock of 50 of just 30 deliveries, 6 fours and 3 sixes. Warner's contribution was 25, 23 deliveries, 2 fours, but Short was the one who was really paying the shots there, and Short is another one who is turning out to be a sort of a very, very important element in this Aussie team now. Ashton Agar was promoted in the batting order, but it came to nothing as he was stumped by Seaford behind the stumps of the bowling of Santner for 2. But after that, when the Duckworth-Lewis was decided by the Duckworth-Lewis method, Maxwell and Finch, initially there was a bit of struggle. They were not able to really force the pace, but then finally, when the Duckworth-Lewis method was taken into consideration, after 14.4 overs, they were given a revised target of 103, but Australia were well ahead by almost 18 runs. So the score stood at 121 for 3. Maxwell was not out on 20 of 18 deliveries with 1-6, and Finch was not out on 18 of 13 deliveries with 1-6. Game over, the Australia winning the Trans Tasman Trophy by the Duckworth-Lewis method. And congratulations to the Aussies. As I said, they have done a wonderful job with this victory. They were at number 7 spot in T20's rankings, and they have risen to number 2, and that is a great feeling for the Aussies, and they truly deserve, because as I said, they are looking a bundle of dynamite for me right now, because the batting is looking very, very, in fact batting is looking dangerous, I would say, with a lot of big hitters in the midst, and then the bowling comes to the party as well. So Aussies definitely they have rocked in this tri-series. They have completely dominated all the teams, and they have been, I think they were the teams who really deserved to win. Yes, there was disappointment for the New Zealand cricket fans for sure, but all in all, Australia deserves due credit. Trent Boult 3 overs, none for 27. East Saudi 4 overs, 1 for 21, did a fine job. Saudi 2 overs, 1 for 21. Santner 3.4 overs, 1 for 29. And Munro bowled 2 overs for 18. So the Trans Tasman 2020 trophy going to Australia. Player of the match was Ashton Agar. Player of the series going to Glenn Maxwell. And Glenn Maxwell will be very happy to get this player of the series award, and deserved so. Well, from here we shift to the second T20 match between India and South Africa, and it was a very good toss to win, one thought, for the captain Duminy. And Duminy, what he did, as you know, it was cloudy conditions there at Supersport Park in Centurion, and Duminy decided that India will bat first. Well, the first over itself made a statement, as Chris Morris bowled an over to Shikhar Dhawan, where Shikhar Dhawan was playing and missing, and as I said, the conditions were a bit cloudy as well, and he started off with a maiden over to the Indians, and then to add to the problems, the Junior Dala, young pacer, actually had Rohit Sharma right in front of the wicket, LBW, for a golden duck. That was his very first ball that he was facing, Rohit Sharma. After the first over was a maiden by Morris to Dhawan, and Rohit Sharma was a goner. LBW bowled Dala for naught. Suresh Raina came in, and Suresh Raina really showed some sort of skin here by actually hitting a few boundaries, and he did it very well as well. As that was going on, Shikhar Dhawan was at the other end, and Shikhar Dhawan slowly got back into his groove, and once again runs started cascading as Suresh Raina and Dhawan put on I think they basically put on like 19 deliveries. They put on 44. That was pretty good going, with Raina taking advantage of the power play by hitting a few boundaries. Dhawan, as usual, as is his wont, I would say, made 24 of 14 deliveries, 3 fours and 2 sixes before becoming a victim of JP Dumini. Raina was LBW by Felicuayo for 31 of 24 balls, 5 fours, but Dala once again came in and nipped the wicket of Virat Kohli when he was caught by Klaasen for 1, and that left the Indian score at 90 for 4 at the halfway stage in almost like 11 overs. And now it was the turn of Manish Pandey and Mahendra Singh Dhoni. But Manish Pandey did a fine job. He picked up his highest score in T20 cricket when he and Dhoni saw to it that India had no further mishap, and India definitely did a wonderful job, I thought, to recover by adding 88 runs in the next 10 overs without losing a wicket. And at that stage, Manish Pandey was not out on a very well crafted 79 of 48 deliveries with 6 fours and 3 sixes. Dhoni was absolutely on the ascendant. What shots, super shots from Dhoni, I thought, because he clubbed Patterson for a 6 over the cover region. He also clouted the other bowlers into the stands. Smuts was cracked for 2 consecutive sixes by Mahendra Singh Dhoni, and then he also hit Patterson for a shot of the day, I thought, when he slapped him over the cover region. And Dhoni was showing some raw power there as India powered on to 188 for 4. At that stage, Pandey was not out on 79 of 48, that 6 4 3 6s. Dhoni had cracked. This was his only second T20 50, and he had hit an unbeaten 52 of just 28 deliveries, which consisted of 4 fours and 3 glorious, 3 powerful sixes from Mahendra Singh Dhoni. The bowling, if you look at it, Morris 4 overs none for 42, Dala 4 overs 1 minute 2 for 28. I thought he showed that he's learning very quickly by not only bowling impressive but also picking up some vital wickets of Kohli and Rohit Sharma. Patterson was a bit listless today. He got a bit of real grounding here. 4 overs none for 51 for Patterson. Dumini 2 overs 1 for 13. Shamsi 2 overs for 24 was costly. Felicuayo 1 for 15 and Smuts none for 15. So South Africa was given a target of 189 runs to win from their 20 overs, and let's see what happened. Reza Hendricks and Smuts opened the innings, but India, Unadkat provided a very early breakthrough for India when he broke through by getting Smuts out for 2 of just 9 deliveries. Dumini walked in to join Reza Hendricks, and Reza Hendricks, he started off in a blaze when he hit 26 of 17 deliveries with 5 fours before Shardul Thakur picked up his wicket for 26. Well, India deciding to drop Jasprit Bumrah, and that really told on India, I would say. Now, Dumini was there at that stage, and South Africa decided to do a batting reshuffle there. They decided to bring in Henry Klaasen to join Dumini. Well, Dumini at that stage, Dumini was the one who had to play the anchor role, but definitely initially when Dumini came, he was very content in not really trying to hit the ball. But once Klaasen joined, Klaasen was simply superb, as he has normally done. He first he came there, and after a few balls, he actually swung Unadkat for 2 wonderful sixes. And after that, it was Klaasen against Chahal. And Yuzvendra Chahal now has the costliest figures by a T20 bowler in cricket. 4 overs, no made and none for 64. He was literally thrashed by Henrik Klaasen. Klaasen really, I would say, he really put the sword to Chahal's bowling by smacking him for sixes and boundaries at absolute will. And not only that, one of the switch hits that Klaasen did against Chahal for a boundary was one of the real signature shots from Klaasen. And Klaasen definitely looking a very dangerous customer, as I've already said in my preview as well. Because when Klaasen walked in, that was a master move by South Africa, I thought, to bring in Klaasen up the order. And Klaasen definitely living up to that reputation. In fact, taking the total to 131 in the 14th over. And as I said, Yuzvendra Chahal was absolutely thrashed by Klaasen. Duminy also taking the cue from Klaasen, also hit a 6 of Chahal. And then he was a bit sedate at the time when Klaasen was really opening up and bashing the bowlers all over the park, especially Chahal. This was a sort of a really accelerating partnership coming in from Klaasen and Duminy, and it was the right moment to do so, because after 5 overs, South Africa were 38 for 2, and 93 runs partnership in I would say, if you look at it, it is 49 balls, a 97 run punishing partnership, which really changed things for South Africa, and South Africa started having hope that they will be winning the match. But then Klaasen fell a victim to Javed Unadkat for 16 out of 30, that was 3 fours and 7 sixes, but there was nothing of an alarm. Duminy was still there at the other end, and David Miller was out to the bowling of Pandya for 5, a bit of a stutter, but not much. But Duminy made sure that South Africa will take this second T20 and level the series, as he clouted 2 wonderful, powerful sixes of the bowling of Javed Unadkat to really bring an end to this match. And Javed Unadkat was very, very costly today, and Bahardin was Duminy was not around 64 of 40 deliveries, which included 4 fours and 3 sixes. Bahardin was not around 16 of 10 balls, 1 6, game over. In fact, South Africa leveling the ODM, the T20 series 1-1, with the final one still coming up. Bhuvneshwar Kumar, 3 overs, none for 19. Shardul Thakur was preferred in place of JP Bumrah, 4 overs, 1 for 31. Unadkat was taken to the cleaners today, 3.4 overs, no maiden, 2 for 42. Pandya, 4 overs, 1 for 31. But look at Yuzvendra Chahal's figures, absolutely damaged beyond recognition. And this is the costliest bowling figures for an Indian bowler in T20 cricket. 4 overs, no maiden, none for 64, thrashed to absolute pulp by Henrich Klaasen in particular. So now it all shifts to the final T20, which is coming up, which should be a real beauty according to me, because whichever team wins takes the T20 series. And for India, one is sure that Jasprit Bumrah will be back in action, and India would definitely like to go on a high by winning the T20 series before they pack up their bags to leave South Africa, ending the tour of South Africa. Well, from here, the only time that I have right now is to look at some cricket news pretty quickly. Well, there was one instance which happened in New Zealand. The match was between Auckland and one of the teams, and what happened was it was G. Travel was the player at the other end. He actually stroked the ball of the bowling was Andrew Ellis. Andrew Ellis was standing at the fence. The ball hit his head and went into the spectators. So basically it was declared a 6. And this is the first time that has happened in cricket where the ball has hit the head of a fielder and sailed into the stands for a 6. And Andrew Ellis was forced to take a concussion test. So Auckland were the ones who actually won that match by 107 runs. We are talking about the Ford Trophy, the third preliminary final, the Ford Trophy at Auckland. Well, dear fans, other than that, the Pakistan Super League is yet to begin. East Sodhi, with his brilliant bowling, has made it to the New Zealand ODI squad for the first 2 one-dayers that is coming against England. Well, dear fan subscribers, I have nothing else to share. Yes, just before I go, I will say that the Alfonso Thomas, who has been playing a lot of English county cricket, was retired now, as we all know, has been named the West Indies' new bowling coach. Well, dear fan subscribers, it's about time for me to say good night on this cricket show. Hope you all liked it, and with more to come, I'll see you all tomorrow. Thank you.